Yes.
I hear you broke the news. One of the listeners texted us.
It must be a very, very, very attentive listener.
Very.
And somebody that really listens to the show.
Exactly.
Because it is very true.
Yeah.
It was on a Thursday
It was
evening,
on a Thursday evening. Yes.
on Ken's Music Mix.
Yes.
When the news broke.
Yeah.
I was gutted. You know, I was totally gutted. Even though I had my issues with MJ.
Which issues did you have with him?
I had my issues with MJ.
Which issues did you have with MJ?
But I was so sad because he was loved by a whole multitude
Yeah.
of disciples.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
the issues I had with him. Oh, George, when I got to know MJ
Yeah.
way back in 1974 thereabouts.
Yes.
When the Jackson 5
yeah.
broke
Yeah.
out with this cute, handsome
Little boy
little boy
who wanted to be white.
with bushy fro. Oh my God! And the voice, the shrill voice he had.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loved the Jackson 5
Everybody
back
did,
then.
yeah.
You know, because their music was just something else for all of us.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, MJ decided to get weird for some strange reason. And I simply could not understand MJ. If you put a picture,
I know.
and I know you've done it,
He became white. The black boy became white. But
and not only that.
But he said it was a health situation.
Oh,
and
what
all
health?
that.
Was the nose also a health situation?
The nose, well, it was. He didn't want it to be flat.
Was the hair also a health situation?
Michael just wanted to be white.
Oh, those were the issues I had with MJ.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, sensational musician,
Super talent.
super talent, you know, one who really, 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 really turned, you know, people onto
Exactly.
black music,
Exactly.
so to speak, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of the pop people who just
They all
love
draw
pop.
inspiration, and when you listen to all of them speak, you know, they all tell you that.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it was Michael Jackson.
Yes.
It was Michael
It
Jackson.
was Michael.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and the way Diana Ross adored him,
Exactly.
and
Dinah just loved him.
Dinah just loved
Yeah.
the boy,
Yeah.
and something else, you know. And you know, he's not the only one I broke on a Thursday. That Thursday evening thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
broke Lucky Dube on a Thursday.
Oh dear, another legend.
Another on my
Yes.
Thursday show. Who sent that message? I
Yeah,
really
I'll
want
look
to
for
know.
it. Yeah, yeah.
I really
One
want to
of
know
the
because that
listeners.
person.
Is a very, very attentive listener. Yeah, not
I
a
need to
passive
get in
listener.
touch with
Yeah.
whoever sent that message. you
Well,
know.
which was your favorite Michael, or which is your favorite Michael tune?
Hey, assembling.
No, I'll let you choose three.
Exactly. Maybe
Because one will not be enough.
one will not be. You know,
Oh, the message popped up.
It popped
let me
up.
see. Yeah, I think. This is it. It says, I remember I was listening to Uncle Ken on that fateful day, 25th June 2009, when he broke the news of MJ passing.
That's
May he
true.
continue to rest. My favorite is Beat It. That's Ernie from Dodoa.
Any.
Yes,
From
yes.
Dodoa.
That's Ernie from Dodoa.
I'll take his number and
Yes.
I'll get in touch
Exactly,
with him.
exactly,
You know, because
exactly, yeah.
it shows he has
Yes, definitely.
a retentive memory.
Very, 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 very.
Now back to
very
the
solid.
music. Which, hey, George, then I said now back to music. Lady in My Life.
Lady in My Life. Okay.
Oh, I just love that tune. You know, Lady in My Life is one, and hey, assembling. They keep tossing up.
Yeah, man.
And Thriller.
Thriller is everybody's favorite.
Thriller. I mean,
You know.
Thriller just got everybody, you know, mesmerized.
Exactly.
And to cap it all, the video for Thriller, George.
The video, if you ask me, redefined the world of music videos.
Wow.
Thriller changed the game.
I'm telling you.
Thriller changed the game totally. I mean, until Thriller, we had seen videos,
Oh, yeah,
but
we
it
had.
was like they sat down and said, look, let us redefine the narrative when it comes to music videos.
Something
and
else.
Thriller was
Something
it.
else.
Thriller was just
Thriller
something
was
else.
al-
It was
was
something else.
And
You know, for me, my favorite has always been Just One. And it's easy for me. I love all Michael Jackson songs, all of them. But my favorite of all the favorites I mentioned it the other day.
Yes, you did.
He's got Slash from Guns N' Roses on guitars.
Yeah.
Given to me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Given to me
Yeah.
is beautiful.
But you see,
yeah.
you see how you decide to choose one that was not
Very
so
popular.
Thank
It
you.
wasn't very popular.
Yes.
It wasn't very popular. Yeah. Given to me wasn't very popular. Even the music video, the video was just ordinary. You know,
But it's
so
a beautiful song.
it is. A lot of people don't know Given
Yes.
to Me because Given to Me is not
it's
very
not one of
popular.
the
Yeah, it's
popular
not one of the
ones that,
popular ones.
got
And then
highlighted.
when I move from Given to Me, the other one that I would love, I love that because of the video, and maybe because I love Eddie Murphy. Remember the Time.
Another one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember the Time.
Yeah.
I love Remember the Time. I love Remember the Time. It was the video that did it for me. You know, when I saw the video with the Egyptian theme and all those things, and you know, Eddie Murphy as the king. What's her name? Is it Imani as the queen? She was playing the queen and all those things. And I mean, it was.
Another one I liked was Bad.
Bad. Bad is definitely classic. You know,
Bad.
Bad. And the
Yes.
video for Bad is also beautiful.
Yes,
you know,
yes, I like
Michael,
Bad
man,
too.
super classic.
But I quite liked his slowies.
Exactly.
That's why I love The Lady in My Life.
The Lady in
so
My
much.
Life. All right,
It's
Uncle Ken,
absolute
here
beauty.
is your song, Lady in My Life.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Remember so well. All you kept saying that day was, "Oh, what a shame! Oh, what a shame! Oh, what," he said, and he said it repeatedly. That's my big brother and friend Colin Sajiman Safo, aka Ogundipe. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
yes,
He
yes.
said he just kept saying, "Oh, what a shame! Oh, what a shame! Oh, what a shame!" It indeed was a shame. It indeed was a shame. And this is Nadina Thompson. She also says she loves Given to Me. Look, Given to Me, Charlie, Given to Me, man.
Through the shadows of the night, let me
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Me,
Which one?
out of all, You Rock My World.
You Rock My World. I'll play it. A lot of people have requested You Rock My World. I'll definitely put it on.
That's another nice.
But it's strange that when we speak about Michael Jackson, we don't often mention Quincy Jones.
You know, Quincy got hold of Michael when Michael had become Michael.
Anyway, that's true. That is true. That is true.
Maybe that is why.
Maybe that is
Because
why.
Michael became Michael when he switched onto Motown
Exactly.
Records.
When he switched on to Motown Records, that's where the story started changing. That is where.
that's where
you know,
Michael
yeah.
became Michael, you know.
Yeah.
And then Quincy and Rod Temperton, them, when they came in with the music, you know, these were great people. And Michael, they took Michael onto another.
No, they sure did.
You
They
know.
sure did. They sure did. They sure did. They sure did. Here is You Rock My World.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Studio. Come and see something small in the studio. Uncle Ken is on the dance floor. Hey. Please open Uncle Ken's microphone for me. I can say Uncle Ken has remembered since. We've also been joined by CEO of 3 Music Network and founder of Waterland Africa. Not Waterland Ghana anymore. Waterland Africa Festival.
He doesn't know MJ.
Sadiq knows MJ.
Oh, Sadiq doesn't know MJ. I'm telling you.
Sadiq is not that young. Uncle Ken. Sadiq, do you know MJ?
Oh, I know MJ.
Oh, are you sure?
Very well.
Which is your favorite Michael Jackson tune?
Liberian Girl.
Liberian Girl.
Another nice one.
Very nice. Very
Yes.
nice.
Hey, Baba, you try. Today I get you.
Honestly, I like We Are the World as well.
You like Where the World, yeah, for
yeah,
obvious
yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the music in Wednesdays, these are the songs that.
Yeah. You go and learn.
Oh,
Oh,
MJ.
interesting.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can clear a few messages. This one says, good afternoon, boss. I think one of the best of MJ is Off the Wall. CQ is like gone. Yeah, it means you know MJ. But you see, certain songs, when the people choose them, you know they know MJ. Thriller. Anytime I enter my car and switch on the AC, the first song I play is Thriller. The throbbing bass line drives me crazy. Now, that's someone who knows music. That's K-Boy inside Chado. Okay, nice one. This one says, GQ, actually Give In To Me is one of my favorites. Remember the Time and Any and any one day in your life. Okay, MJ didn't only redefine music videos, but the whole movie industry and especially Hollywood. Okay, interesting one there. This one says, my favorite is Man in the Mirror. That's Parkour inside Adabraka. Okay. This one says, I love The Girl Is Mine. You also add your names to your messages so that we know you. The Girl Is Mine is classic, eh? George and Uncle Ken. Michael had vitiligo. Pigmentation problem. You see, I
The
told you.
pigmentation
The
thing.
pigmentation issue. He told you it was a.
Oh, but the hair.
The hair was if the skin is vitiligo, the hair should be vitiligo. Which document is Sadi scrutinizing there like that? Is it NDC manifesto?
No. National Cathedral Manifesto.
So you came with documents.
That's a Cathedral manifesto.
Listeners, Sadiq has come with documents too. We're in trouble.
We should thank the production team for.
Yeah. Oh no, they work. They work. Uncle Ken. So to all our listeners out there, here is my favorite. Sadiq,
Yes.
and I'm sure my favorite Michael Jackson song, you haven't heard it before.
Which one?
Give In To Me. Here we go.
Why?
Super Hits
of June 2009. I remember exactly where I was when the news broke. I was with Seth Kwame Boateng at the University of Ghana. Yeah, man. Yes. Open Sadiq's mic. I can't hear him. Sadiq, you're saying?
I was also at the Legon area.
Oh, you are the Legon area. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was at what's this hostel at
Pentagon. Ivandi.
I was at Ivandi.
What were you doing at Ivandi? Because Ivandi mostly had girls.
I was speaking inspirations from you.
The devil is a liar.
In fact, I had gone to see my wife.
Oh, okay.
We were not married at the time.
Okay.
And then she was at the hostel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I'm going to visit there.
Listeners, the question Uncle Ken asked that you didn't hear is that what were you doing with her?
No, I have gone to see her.
Okay.
You know,
As what?
as a smoochie partner. Baba.
And Fifi Manson says this is the most sensible show we've ever done all of this year.
Oh.
Just because we are talking about Michael Jackson. He says even if Michael Jackson coughed, it was a hit. We've also been joined by my brother Chief Moment.
Yes, George Quay.
How are you doing?
I'm excellent.
Do you know Michael Jackson?
Of course I do.
I
was actually at Legon when he died.
Oh, you were
I was at Jubilee.
Okay.
And I actually have a poem about Michael Jackson.
Were you also visiting someone?
No, I was in Legon by then.
Okay. Okay, let's hear it.
This poem is titled Vitiligo.
Eish.
19
disease.
Yeah, the disease.
1983, Pasadena, California. I was there at Motown 25. Yesterday, today, forever. The concert that made Michael Jackson the Michael Jackson when he moonwalked his way for the first time into our hearts to the rhythm of Billie Jean. For 5 minutes, the world stopped spinning on its axis as Michael kept spinning on his heels. We held our breath, mesmerized, awed, and entranced at this spectacle of divine expression. That night, the king was crowned on his throne of pop. A legend was born amidst the constellation of mortals. That was before Vitiligo. Or maybe that was the beginning of Vitiligo. Of all the millions of black men, it just had to be him at the threshold of his greatness. Such an unfortunate coincidence. The worst form of the disease is the one that affects the mind and the heart. We see manifestations of it every day on our streets, in our magazines and videos and billboards. It controls our lives in many ways. Academic vitiligo, political vitiligo, economic vitiligo, religious vitiligo. Will a white God listen to a black prayer? They put a cathedral right on top of the dungeon. Every day the captured men and women wailed for salvation, but the Savior nailed to his cross could only weep as they led them through the door of no return. Vitiligo systems created and enforced by centuries of slavery, colonialism, imperialism, neocolonialism. We must vaccinate ourselves against this menace. We must trace our cure back in time to rediscover ourselves. The antidote is written in ancient hieroglyphics. We must find the papyrus floating in the Euphrates, the Tigris, and the Nile, the manuscripts buried in the libraries of Timbuktu. Those who control the narrative control the thoughts. History is not made by those who make history. It is made by those who record history. For so long, we have believed everything told us, but we must rediscover ourselves and reinvigorate our confidence. We must search the annals of our collective memory and piece together our fractured story. Maybe if Michael knew and fully appreciated our story, he might not have had vitiligo. So that's my political piece inspired by Michael Jackson, but I definitely do. I was a Michael Jackson freak growing up, and I did love him, and I imitated him at some point, you know.
You did a dance?
Well, I tried to. You know, the one that he kind of like holds his crouch and, you know, his hat. I didn't have much of a crouch then. I was holding oxygen. But I want to say good evening to Reverend AEC, and I was with him before coming, and that's why I kind of like delayed, you know. I was getting some anointing as a friend of mine, so good evening to him. I told him I'll give him a shout out.
My big brother and friend Niaite Hamon says she's out of my life. That's his favorite Michael Jackson tune. He loves that one. Yes. And then Ogundipe says it was really a shock to the world. Michael Jackson's chewing gum photo generation in Kotowabi.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Yes.
She's Out of My Life was a classic.
Yes.
And
Me,
then,
that's another lovely tune.
very good tune. Very good tune there.
His slow is
Oh, don't worry.
Our
You know what's going to
masterpieces.
happen on Monday evening already. don't you? You let's wait for Monday evening. Showbiz A to
all I want to say is that they don't really care
Late Night
about us.
Express.
Late Night
Should people
Express.
start arranging for their own smooching partners
Allah,
night?
for Monday evening, Late Night Express will be
Okay,
so-
You didn't hear the song I was singing?
Which one?
All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
Yeah, huh.
The second da 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 da.
Not played it, right? I played it earlier.
In talking vitiligo, was Michael Jackson black or white?
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
All right, we're gonna come into our studios. We're gonna start our conversation. Yes.
Yes, I said my reverend's name, Reverend Kissy.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Not easy. You got your reverend's name wrong.
No, because we are coming to talk about the
The
cathedral.
offertory should be doubled tomorrow.
I had to go and do a research with Reverend. So Reverend Kissy, I'm greeting him today.
Okay,
George,
we hear. Yes, Uncle
It
Ken.
must be said that the RIAA still hold him as the biggest selling artist.
Yes.
No, of course. Look, for me, I keep saying
He's
that
selling more in death.
I am yet to encounter any musician the weight, impact, strength
Of Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Till date, not. You know, the other time was it on Lexus Bill show Drive Time? There was this comparison between Michael
when you
Jackson
did
and
that
Bob Marley.
with Bob Marley.
You see, Bob Marley was a legend,
Yeah.
but you cannot compare. It is just
The
Bob Marley does
cross-cultural.
not come anywhere near Michael Jackson.
So when you say anywhere,
You know,
you have to contextualize.
No, let me contextualize it.
Yes,
Let me
yes,
contextualize
yes,
it.
yes.
Okay. Now, records, one. Number of
Sales.
records. Yes, number of records, works done, sales. Maybe if Bob had
Awards.
lived a little longer, I've not even gotten there yet. Awards, performances, global influence and impact.
No, when you talk about influence, well, I mean, Michael Jackson would definitely not come anywhere close when it comes to Pan-African, Bob Marley's Pan-Africanist influence.
Thank
you.
you.
You know, so that is what for many people distinguishes Bob Marley. He was a conscious musician. You know, he was not necessarily.
I like
a
the
product
fact
of the
that I like the fact
establishment.
that you situated within the Pan-African space. We're
Yes.
talking global.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even, in fact, I mean, when you speak about this consciousness you're talking about in reference to Bob Marley, in Jamaica during the time he was alive,
They
lot of
didn't,
the Jamaicans
they didn't
considered him a
even.
sellout.
They considered him a sellout.
yeah, they
You know,
hailed Peter Tosh
more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
yes,
More than
Bob
Marley.
Marley. You know, So,
But I
yeah.
think someone who comes close to Michael Jackson in terms of work ethic, you know how Michael Jackson, when he's doing his shows, the kind of passion.
Don't
and
mention
work-
Prince.
No, not Prince. Actually,
okay.
Beyonce, surprisingly.
But didn't
I mean, if you see the way Beyonce
Inspired
curates
Michael
her
Jackson
shows and her
Yeah.
performance.
No, Prince always considered himself Michael Jackson's only competition.
Yes, I mean, in terms of the modern artists, you know,
Yeah.
I think that is Beyonce
Okay,
that can
Beyonce.
work close when it comes
Yeah.
to work
Beyonce,
ethic, the
Beyonce
kind of
puts in-
attention,
she puts in a lot.
concentration.
Performances
Yeah,
in
and
the
curate.
show.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Her
absolutely.
performances are always
George, a
very
gentleman just sent me a message, Mr. Bismarck Ashite,
Okay.
to tell me that, Uncle Ken, I was the first person to also call you on that day on your show.
On your show.
When he died. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's true. Bismarck called me. George, before you start
Yes.
the conversation,
Yes.
I would want to say a big thank you to a couple of ladies.
Okay.
I have a very strong women listener base to my shows.
You're the ladies' man.
And
Allah.
I am ever grateful to the ladies who listen to my shows. A lot of them listen to my shows. And two of them actually surprised me during the week. I was on my way to Vodafone when I got a call from a dispatch rider saying that, he had been sent to deliver a parcel to me.
Oh dear.
I said, who from? He said, the people did not want their name
to be mentioned.
but they gave him my number. And so he said, where are you? I said, I'm on my way to Vodafone. He said, okay, I'll come and meet you there because I'm not too far away. So he came to Vodafone, handed me a very nice bag. And when I got home eventually to look at what was in it, I realized that the ladies had sent me two wonderful shirts, one of which I'm wearing
Oh, lovely.
at the moment.
Lovely.
And
you
one
tell
of
her
the
you have
ladies
co-panelists?
owns a shop in Aoshi, Kizia Fashions.
Okay.
And another lady, Marita Kwanzaa, actually hooked Kizia onto the show.
Okay.
And they loved the show so much, so they sent me two lovely
So these are
shirts.
ladies that don't know you. They just know-
I've never even seen them.
So how did they get your size so right?
Amazingly, George, if you look on my phone, I asked them, I said, how did you know
Yeah.
my size? And the response from one of them was, we know our Uncle Ken.
Wow. Legend.
So I like to say thank you very much to them.
Oh.
And they should keep listening to the shows. And I want more ladies to join
If they've been
on the
listening,
show.
if
Listen.
they Sadiq, hold on.
Ladies of Joy FM.
Sadiq, hold on. Please, what are their names again?
Marita Kwanzaa
Marita and Kezia.
and Kezia.
Please,
And
if you are
Kezia's, fashion shop is in Awoshi.
Don't worry, you let me deliver my message. Please, if you are listening, me, I just use half the material you use on the cover.
Shut up on the side.
Thank you very much. Just half the material, that's all. Don't worry, you don't need much.
And I also like to say thank you very much to our very own, our own special lady. Oh, what's her name? Oh,
What does she do?
no, she once worked at Joy FM
Once, but doesn't work here anymore.
anymore.
Hey,
Regular listener to all our shows. Guess
Which
who?
is-
Marianne
Turi.
Turi, yes.
Marianne also
Yes.
sent me a parcel.
Okay.
Lovely parcel. One day while I was on air,
Okay.
she sent a driver to bring it to me.
Oh, you didn't mention the people that brought you that designer slipper.
Oh, we have said that already.
Mm.
You say it today again for me.
You let's
So
move
George,
forward.
George, it pays to be a ladies' man. Oh.
It pays, pal. So I'm wondering, the Late Night Express, the people who listened, is it men?
because
But
they
I see a lot of ladies responding to your message.
but they haven't sent any gift yet.
They haven't sent any gifts yet. I'm wondering why.
So
you know-
I'm an aspiring allergy ladies man. Show me to the shoot.
Please, the legendary Honorable George Anda says his favorite Michael Jackson tunes, Billie Jean and Smooth Criminal.
Smooth
Billie Jean
Criminal,
from Thriller,
yes.
from the Thriller album, and then Smooth Criminal from the Bad album. Exactly,
Yes,
that's
Smooth
Honorable
Criminal
George
was on
Anda.
the Bad album.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get into our convo shortly. This one says, "Break of Dawn" from the Invincible album is a very smooth track. Please play it. Michael died the same date my mom died in 2007. Oh, all right. So sorry about that. Deepest condolence. Hello, GQ. My name is John from Awishi. My favorite from from Michael Jackson is Speechless. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Good afternoon. And then this one says Michael Jackson is the best entertainer of all time. I second that. In fact, I third, fourth, and fifth it. Whereas Bob Marley is the influential artist of the 21st century. I think that's a fair argument. That's from Michael Imisa, Austin Inside at Dabraka. And then this one says, George, all tracks were super. Thriller was wild, but after enjoying the Liberian Girl, I had no option but to fall for the track Liberian Girl. Bob is known by the new generation. Michael Jackson is not. Okay, all right, if you say so. This one says, good afternoon, George. The moment you hear this song, you think of Whitechapel. That's actually true, eh? Yes, let's activate the microphones. Yes, you were saying that off air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you play the black or white song,
Because they use it for their commercials for a long time.
For a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sadiq reminded me.
That one is from Asantua Mixon Yeboah. Okay, Asantua, good observation there. This one says, great show, guys. Hope this gets read. My favorite was always Man in the Mirror. That's where I started.
Yeah.
This always spoke to me. Adam inside Prague. Look, Man in the Mirror was deep. Yeah. Oh no, we're global.
Global.
Yeah, we are global. When you make your show global and you don't discuss people's bathrooms and stuff on
George,
prime time
Who are you
radio.
shading? Who are you shading?
Yes,
Marita Kwanzaa has just sent me a message.
Yeah.
He says, Uncle Ken, please tell George he's sorted.
Oh, voila.
Oh, not only George.
Sadiq, no, you take like 10 yards. We don't have material. We don't have material.
Oh, how about Philip?
Yeah, this one says,
Mr. Philip.
okay.
Backdoor ladies, man.
Hey, the Bob Marley people are angry. They said, in May 2016, the United Nations Peace Medal of the Third World was given to Bob Marley for helping to fight for justice and peace in Third World countries.
That's a whole content to Bob
While
Marley
Marley's
versus Michael
music
Jackson.
may not have directly stopped the brutal war, it gave hope to millions, not only in his home country but all over the world. In November 2018, UNESCO designated reggae as intangible cultural heritage. Michael Jackson doesn't come near. Issa Money. Okay, Issa, if you insist.
Oh, Issa.
Oh, is that Issa Money?
Yeah, that's Issa. All I can say is if you insist.
But you know that day I challenged you on this Bob Marley thing.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, I recall you did. I recall you did. Okay. So we're gonna take a break. Yes.
Okay. I mean, we also have to mention that Michael transformed the Super Bowl halftime performance as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
definitely. Definitely.
Yes, that
Yeah,
started
the whole
with him.
transmission
So
started with
he's
him.
indeed a once in a
And
generation
even he actually
cultural
did
icon.
redefine the concept of live stage performance. Do you remember that 2005 MTV Base Music Video Awards?
Yes.
It was a showstopper.
His performances
Yeah. I mean, it was a showstopper.
Till today, a lot of
This is it.
events, performance creators continue to watch
to watch to draw
Michael's
inspiration.
When we come back from this break, are the elephants building something that might become a white elephant? We'll come back shortly.
Roverman Productions in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM presents an Uncle White play, I Slept With Your Wife.
Honorable, I slept with
It's okay. I won't say anything. I will not say anything. Hey, Honorable, please don't do this. Honorable, Father, out of the way. Let me kill him. Slept With Your Wife shows at the National Theatre on June 25th and 26th and July 2nd and 3rd. Time 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Rates 100 Ghana cedis. Tickets are available at Joy FM, Shell Shops at Airport, East Legon, Dansuman and Tema Community 11, and also at Bachana and Hacho Total. Or WhatsApp 050-554-6030. Media partners Joy FM. This production is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, A&E Laboratory, TFHO, and GHQR by Gibbs. You can also purchase tickets via Corba short code *365 *535 hash. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories, all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salaries, mundane, is survival oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank with support from the graphic business.
Okay, if I leave work now, I can beat traffic, get takeaways for dinner with the girls, and be on time to pick up Sam and his mom from the hospital. Eish! I must move that money into my savings account as well. Pay my old school union dues and my DSTV subscription. I promised I'll pick up some ice cream for Araba's birthday party.
We know that life is go, 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 and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. That's why with ABSA's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Get things done simply with our digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour. Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM this and every Monday at 9:30 p.m.
Let's hear you.
Okay, sorry. What I was trying to explain was that people will typically visit cathedrals for two main reasons. One, historical and artistic, and the other, spiritual.
Right.
So in respect of historical and artistic, you can think of a famous museum like the Duomo in Florence, in those days when it was ruled by the Grand Dukes of Tuscany. That was what you might consider the equivalent of a national cathedral. And if you go into the Duomo today, there's a whole museum that will show you antiquities dating to Roman times, to Greek times, to show you the evolution of Christianity in Florence, all the way back to medieval and early Christian times. People will go because those things are precious. You can't find them anywhere else. The other reason it might be because there are instances where miracles have been associated with religious sites, particularly Christians' religious sites. And in those instances where Mary has appeared, and things like that, people will go there because they believe that those places are holy places.
I'll talk again.
Sometimes you will find instances where there will be relics, parts of the body or parts of the clothing of a holy person or a saint in the cathedral. And those reasons, so if you go to a place like the Duomo in Florence that I mentioned earlier, they believe that the finger of John the Baptist is kept in a reliquary, and people that want healing and things like that will go there for that purpose. So if we're thinking about a national museum, a national cathedral in Ghana, which has none of these virtues, because it's starting up in 2022, it has no comparison whatsoever to say the Action Chapel, that is run by Archbishop Duncan Williams as the founding site of charismaticism in Ghana, or Our Lady of Sorrows in Navrongo, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Why then would somebody go to a cathedral built in 2022? There has to be a reason. And some of the reasons they've been mentioned doesn't really add up, like there's a restaurant there and things like that. There are restaurants everywhere in Ghana. So the only thing that we've heard, which is interesting because it does suggest that there is a plan to attract tourists of a high quality and a high caliber to pay for it as well, is the museum idea. But then the thing with the museum is that you need to have a collection. You have to buy antiquities to put in the museum for people to come. And the cost of these antiquities are massive. a Renaissance painting alone can cost you $100 and something million, right? So let's say we're even buying, cheaper items, but still of some historical value. We can easily spend $250 million just on the collection for the museum. We've not even budgeted for that. We budgeted for the construction of the cathedral and its interior finishes. And when you look at the project plan that has currently been circulated, it's quite clear that we will need money for the museum itself.
Jesus, at night, mercy me back, Papa, time and Sensurita,
And that in the background is music from No Tribe. They call this one Messimedang. It was released in 2010. The voice you heard early on was that of Bright Simmons. He spoke on News 4 last week. And it's in connection with our next conversation, the National Cathedral. Another white elephant in the making, or an asset for national heritage, pride, culture, and tourism? Let me try to put this conversation in some sort of perspective. Look, we all travel. And what do we really go and look at when we travel? Two things. You go and look at buildings, you go and look at animals. And then you have a few experiences here and there. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get to add a few movies. You go to beaches, then you go shopping. So you go travel all the way to see a 1.5 billion built Burj Khalifa sitting in Dubai. Travel all the way to India to look at the Taj Mahal. You travel all the way to Egypt to look at pyramids. You travel all the way to France to look at Le Louvre, which is the world's, arguably the world's biggest museum. You travel to the UK, and then you go to places like Greenwich. What's in Greenwich? Aside the connect to the international date line, the only thing left in Greenwich are buildings. Then you look at the Big Ben. You look at the building with a clock. You look at the London Bridge, you think about it, you talk about it, you experience it. These are all structures that people travel to look at. So, if the government of Ghana, and looking at things like the St. Patrick in New York, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, the Cologne Cathedral in Cologne, the St. Paul's Cathedral in London, which featured prominently on the London Has Fallen movie. What is wrong if the government of Ghana, the president, as promised, did say that when he won, he was going to build a cathedral to honor his maker? And Ghana, a country that calls itself a Christian nation, non-secular, we know we are, but generally, that is why in every function we have all the three kinds of prayers, but predominantly Christians. So what is wrong with building a church? What is wrong with building a cathedral? Especially one that is being given a heritage, a cultural, and a relevant tourism perspective. One that is believed to attract tourists from all over the world to come look at. One that is believed to hold Christian conventions. One that is believed to host various, activities that will not just be beneficial to the people, but beneficial to the world as well. People that are going to come visit it and use it. What is wrong if government is investing in a structure that is going to create jobs for the people? Because naturally, when it's done, it is not Indians or people from Papua New Guinea or Australia who are coming to manage it. It's going to be Ghanaians who are going to be working there. So that is a job created right there. So what really is wrong with putting up a national cathedral? You can be a part of our conversation. 055 1111997. The station is Joy. The show is Showbiz A to Z. Let me start with Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken.
George.
Yes.
This matter, I am. It's a very, very, very sad situation that we find ourselves in with this cathedral issue. I'm saying sad because last week, if you remember, I went through some of the reasons or the tourism benefits that the spokesperson for the cathedral,
the cathedral secretariat,
the secretariat,
yeah.
the executive director reiterated in the statement that he put out, that 7-page document, that statement that he put out. And I said, it all sounded so nice, but the whole issue did not start off on a good note. The good note being, as I said last week, we needed transparency, forthrightness, and to carry the nation along with the project. If you want to embark on a project and you do not carry the nation along with you, you're bound to fail. And that's what's happening now with this cathedral matter. I have been very upset at the figures being bandied about, because I say to myself, what's going on? I heard somebody trying to justify the figures by saying that, and that was even an indictment on the secretariat or whoever planned it in the first place. The person was saying that as they went along, they decided to add certain facets of the whole project one by one. So that inflated the prices as they went along. Because, for instance, in the beginning, they didn't think of, say, a museum. And now they think that they needed a museum. And then that quickly said to me, but you've just opened up a museum. 2 weeks ago, was it? Was it 2 weeks ago that the National Museum was?
Yeah, I think it was about 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Thereabouts, yes.
A lovely edifice.
Yes.
So why would the National Cathedral also want a museum? These were the questions that came to me. So I realized that the whole planning was mumbo jumbo, as we normally do in this country, And my mind, when you talk about tourism or the effective use of a monument like that, if you term it a national cathedral and you incorporate all these, a cafeteria, did they say a cafeteria, a restaurant? What were the other, a hall,
the 5,000-seater
5,000-seater hall and all that. It looks promising. It looks interesting. But it is a national cathedral. So that 5,000-seater hall, what sort of events are you going to be able to, cater for?
Strictly religious events.
Yes, it's got to be strictly religious if you have termed it a cathedral. Stoneboy would not be allowed to go and have a show there.
They already spoke to it.
They have.
The secretary.
So George, you know what happened? My mind went back to when I visited Cape Town in South Africa for the jazz festival that they host there. I went to the Cape Town International Convention Center.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that edifice. In actual fact, they built another one. So they now have 2 Cape Town International Convention Centers. Now, this Cape Town International Convention Center is a place where exhibitions and trade fairs, meetings and seminars, banquets and galas, theater and entertainment, film shoots and other productions take place. So it's a huge edifice that caters for all facets of the of the country, of the town. So it means that gospel musicians can go and have an event at the Cape Town International Convention Center, which would not be a problem. Likewise, secular musicians can do so. And you know what is even most beautiful about that convention center, George? The car park is what is transformed into an arena for the jazz festival.
So, Uncle Ken, if I'm getting you right, you are critiquing the purpose.
Yes, I am saying that
you want to critique the purpose.
I am critiquing the purpose and why a huge outlay of money should be spent on it when it can only cater for a certain section of
people
of the society.
It would have been okay for you if it were called, say, the National Arena.
Thank you.
So that you would have been okay.
I would have been perfectly okay with that, because that would have broadened the scope of people who could use it.
And its usefulness.
And then for tourism purposes, all manner of, people could go there and exhibit. But if it is called a cathedral, then you limit it to only the Christian folk. As I said before, because I don't think Stoneboy can, and Sadiq has said that it has already been said by the Secretariat that no, none of the secular artists would be able to go and perform there. And you look at the Perez Dome that Adum FM was using some time ago for their Adum Praise. It's rumored to be about a 15 to 20,000 capacity. Yeah. Now, that Perez Dome, being a Christian entity, would not allow any Sadiq to go and hold 3 music awards there. And Sadiq would have loved to host 3 music awards in such a large capacity auditorium. But Sadiq cannot do that. Why? Because Sadiq is secular. So that is my problem with this cathedral tag that we have.
Okay. So for you, it is about purpose.
Yes.
All right. Has any one of us visited the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi? No, I haven't. No.
You haven't. Uncle Ken, have you had the opportunity to visit
I haven't.
Sheikh Zayed? And Sadiq, I believe you know the purpose of structures like that.
And George,
yes.
Just before you move away from me, my brother Kweku Opoku has just reminded me about something, and I think it is important that I put that out. Kweku says, first of all, it's against the constitution of Ghana for the state to be associated with any religion. Faith does not reside in any building, church for commerce. Tourism, ?
Okay.
That is why Sadiq was all over the place defending the National Mosque.
Yeah, the fact that it didn't have state involvement.
The fact that it did not have state involvement in it.
Okay. Okay, I would let me go around before I come back, and then we can have a much broader discussion. Let me come to you, Chief.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saving Sadiq for last for obvious reasons.
Very well. When this whole conversation a couple of years ago started about the National Cathedral, I was very hesitant to comment, and obviously because of my religious inclination as a Muslim, I felt that Muslims have to be emotionally wise in this conversation so as not to appear that our faith is informing, our perspective.
Your perspective, yeah.
Much more so because of the narrative of a whole national mosque. And I personally don't even think that we have a national mosque, right? If a Catholic church comes to build an edifice here, a grand edifice, no matter how big it is, it will not be considered as a national mosque for Christians. So the Islamic world in Ghana is as segregated in terms of denominations as the Christian world. And there was no point in time in which there was a consensus that there's a national mosque. It's just because there's the office of the chief imam that we all, so strictly speaking, the chief imam is not my chief imam. I'm an Ahmadi Muslim, and my imam, chief imam, essentially in quotes, is the Amir and missionary in charge, right? So that's where I get my instructions, from administratively and all of that, and spiritual guidance and all of that. So the concept of even national mosques is a non-starter, but we all kind of like call it a national mosque, but it's administratively there's not there. It's not a national mosque, But so as I said, I felt that Muslims had to be a bit more circumspect in our report, and I think that largely we have observed a bit level of restraint. It's just now because of current happenings and the way the conversation have dovetailed, and the fact that it is now beginning to emerge that quite some significant public funding will be needed if this thing will become, a reality. It has moved beyond just, a religious, not necessarily edifice, to become a really important national conversation which we must have. Let me also say that initially I understand the value of bold visions and grand edifices, as a man of art and culture and history. I appreciate the Colosseums in Rome, the pyramids in Giza. I understand the place of grand architecture,
the hanging gardens of Babylon.
Yes, so there was a part of me that was excited, just by the concept of it. And I think that if you just take it as a concept, it is exciting. A curation of a center that pays homage to the evolution of Christianity, in Africa, the museum, the experiences, the architect David J with his grand portfolio across the world. So as a concept, I was excited about it. In the same way, I would have been excited if there's a similar concept about curating African traditional religions, the differences, the cultural nuances, because we have so much content and there's not a lot of thought and deliberate effort and passion that goes into curating our stories, right? So from that perspective, I was like, oh, well, this is a cool thing. If, the Christian community is going to contribute to get it done, I didn't even mind if government had to do some facilitation, to ensure, and even to spend a bit of money to ensure that it happens. But now we're at a point where it's been revealed that this is the grand ambition of the project is now going beyond just the fact that it's a Christian edifice to becoming a national tourism monument. So we have to have a deliberate discussion about whether it is, a post-facto rationalization that, okay, we wanted to build a cathedral, but we need to justify why we have to spend that money, so we have to bring in that tour. So now we have to discuss it as a tourism project to ask ourselves if it is worth the investment. And for me, I have a very simple formula. If Ghana says that we want to improve our tourism and we want to invest some significant resources, let's say $500 million, and we bring together, different minds in the tourism and the creative industries to sit together on a table and really brainstorm about how we can use such an amount of $500 million to transform our tourism potential. Do we think we would arrive at a decision to invest in a national cathedral? If we didn't start with what we wanted to do, but started with the amounts to say think and give a suggestion, would we have agreed, or would we have even suggested to build a national cathedral? I doubt it. And I say this because there's this singularity of item. So tourism does not just thrive on singularity, it thrives on context. For example, you go to Egypt because Egypt is an ancient civilization. There's not just one pyramid, there's a lot of pyramids, there's museums, there's a lot of things that feeds into that narrative of as an ancient civilization. So you're not going to see one monument, you're going to see several monuments, you're going to experience a lot. Even in Ghana is seen as a Pan-Africanist marker because of a lot of things, right? First of all, our role in this heritage tourism, the slave trade experience. So it's not just one castle. We have a lot of castles. We have forts, So there's a history behind that heritage tourism. So when someone is coming to Ghana for that purpose, there's a lot that we indulge in. Now, is there anything about the evolution of Christianity in Ghana that is remarkably different from the revolution of Christianity across other West African countries? Is there a particular unique value proposition that distinguishes Ghanaian Christianity that would serve as a major point of attraction? Because the question I have to ask myself is that would a tourist just say, oh, Ghana has built this wonderful monument, a national cathedral. Because of that, I would want to come and see it. When people are already coming in, they are going to mark out the things they want to do. If there's a cathedral and there's a whole narrative about it, they would want to see it. But would the cathedral in and of itself, drive mass exodus, into this country, so that if annually we were getting 1 million tourists because of the cathedral, would that move to $1.5 million, 1.5 million visitations? I doubt. I think that those who are already coming, if there's a cathedral, they will go and see it anyway. Some will go and see it. But as to whether the cathedral in and of itself would draw mass audiences, I think that can only happen if Ghana had a narrative of Christianity that was unique and had several things that could be connected to that national cathedral narrative. So it's not just the national cathedral, it's about something in the north, it's about something in the east, it's about the whole narrative of Ghanaian Christianity. Is Ghanaian charismatic churches more vibrant than Nigerian charismatic churches, for example? So my point is that we cannot bet our hopes on just the singularity of the vision of the National Cathedral as the holy grail of tourism for us.
Interesting.
So back to my question, if we're sitting on the table to discuss how to utilize $500 million, would the National Cathedral have been the way? That's why I doubt whether it would have been the way.
Just so we do not confuse the listeners,
yes.
$500 million is not what's being
spent 400
on the cathedral.
Okay,
400 million.
Yes, I use the 500 as because
just so
but it has also been said that that's just the cost of build, right? The cost of curation hasn't even come in. If we want to get those really priced items that will give this cathedral some kind of respectability, it will probably go beyond more. So even I'm just using that figure to say, if we had the most significant amount of money to spend on one or a transformative project, should it be the cathedral? And if we had started from that point, I don't think we would have ended with the decision to go with the National Cathedral. So it boils down to the fact that it is the president's vision. And for me, this one thing that we are picking from this is that if our leaders are fixated on particular ideas, like how Nkrumah was fixated on a number of transformative ideas, we can see change. So the reason why Africa hasn't transformed is not because our leaders are unable to fixate about issues, is because it's about the things they decide to fixate on.
Okay.
And we'll throw more light.
We'll throw that there. And that was Chief Mumen right there. Let me bring Sadiq into the convo. Sadiq, National Cathedral. I mean, let us. And for me,
so many things
I am. Look, here I wanna, Uncle Ken, I wanna spiritually pull myself out of the seat and look at myself as a tourist sitting in the UK or sitting in Spain or sitting in France or somewhere, and then I've had Destination Ghana or I've had something, and then I go on Google and I look for Ghana. What are some of the sights and sounds that I can see? If I saw a national cathedral, a structure that has a Bible museum, it has this, it has a that, it has a that, would I be excited enough to come see it? Perhaps. Yes, I might be, because the other things, am I going to see, let's say I see the beaches. Are there beaches in Barbados? Are there beaches elsewhere? Yes, there are. Maybe there might be some, you can go to Mole, canopy walkways. Are they common other places? There are. Animals, can I see some in South Africa? I can see some. So you may want those unique edifices. And I like the mention of the pyramids at Giza, for an example. You understand the Colosseums, and is it Spain that has Rome that Italy that has all those Colosseums. So you may need unique structures. I go to that is why when you do a tour package to Dubai, for instance. Yes, I'll learn shortly, so you can respond to it all as one. You do a tour package to Dubai, for instance. They would let you see the Burj Khalifa. They would let you see. You do the desert safari. You would see their museum and all those things. But they would also let you do that 1 hour journey to Abu Dhabi to see the mosque, and thousands of people go there. So look, considering some of these potential benefits from tourism, is it really such a bad thing to consider putting up a national cathedral?
George, just before Sadiq comes in, Sadiq, George has raised a certain issue I wanted to ask you. You see the mosque?
Yes.
The National Mosque?
Yes.
Is it called the National Mosque?
Well, it's been now named so, but
officially?
Officially. I mean, originally it wasn't supposed to be named as a national mosque. I think there was some.
What was it supposed to be named?
There was so the family that helped to build it, the Turkish family, had a name. They had an Arabic or Turkish name they wanted to call it. There's a school behind it.
Okay.
I think a similar name.
Yeah.
But I think there were some conversations in the background where it was suggested that once it was going to become the National Chief Imam's Juma Mosque, maybe it should be called the National Mosque. But Chief is also right. I don't think that there was a wide consultation within the Muslim community in Ghana to say, okay, this is what we are
No,
going to call it.
I posed the question because I just want to know. I have taken it upon myself to go and have a look at it, at that edifice, because I just loved the edifice there. You know, it looks so imposing where it is. Do people travel from far and wide to visit it?
Well, I mean, we've had people initially when it was open. A lot of Muslims that went there. There were people that actually even wanted to take pictures. I know people had wanted to even hold certain kind of events there. But if you understand how religious management in Ghana here is, it can sometimes be situated within a certain fundamental context that makes it hard for the managers, depending on their background, to allow for certain flexibility to do some things.
All right.
So understandably, you realize that the marriages that people had wanted for it to happen there will not happen. Some of the occasions and events and things. Look, last week, somebody, they have conference rooms around it. Somebody posted a comedy event and it created an uproar. You understand? And so I understand the secretary to the trustees, for instance, when he said that certain events cannot be allowed, and it's fine. Generally, when you have structures of that nature, you can allow for some of these things. And I think the naming of the national mosque may have been one of the things that began to cause problems and created a fertile ground for anybody that wanted to suggest that, we need a national cathedral for instance.
Okay.
It was the naming. The naming just opened it. So if you realize, some of the people that were narrative influencers for, say, the National Cathedral, for instance, began to first refer to it without knowing the background and the history.
Exactly.
That it had government.
Yes, I know somebody, for instance, that kept on insisting, and I went back and forth to the person and provided a history to tell them that, look, I mean, there's no dollar, or there was actually a certain point in time when the ex-president went to Turkey, for instance, for a state visit, and the man that was involved in lobbying the Turkish family to help to fund, because the Muslims in Ghana started their own project and they couldn't complete it, decided to arrange a meeting for the person to meet the ex-president. One of the reasons was to convince them, for instance, that they were bringing in a certain item. At this point, the mosque was about more than 80% complete. They were bringing certain items in it, and they needed a certain level of state support or anything like that to them. It never happened.
Anyway, let's move forward. Let's focus on the one that we're discussing. I put it in perspective. I mean, if you were a tourist sitting somewhere, you went on Google and you saw an edifice that is unique. George, would it be good for you?
Chief gave a very good background analysis to it, and I mean, he's right. For a number of us, personally for me, I initially, when the whole conversation started, and until it became, they wanted to write the whole tourism argument and everything that got all of us out. It was like, okay, well, this is perfect. If you look at the investment the church has made to the country over time, investment in schools, hospitals, and everything, obviously, it would have been important to create something that's a reminder of the investment that the church has been making in Ghana over time. However, I'm sure that even the church, as a unit, for instance, would differ on the times of how this was going to happen and the level of state involvement in it. So when the initial narrative was that, the state wasn't going to fund it, people backed down a bit. Even when they made suggestions regarding the land usage and all of those things, people backed down on it. Now, for us involved in the Tourism, Culture and Space Act, you would have realized that there hasn't been an overarching and a certain transformative agenda by the president to have to enable it. If you look at even for 5.5 years, for instance, if you look at the 21 promises they made to the sector, for instance, so far it's been only one that they've been able to deliver on. And even with the one, there's been a certain problem regarding the executions of it because of what? Lack of money. When the state deemed it fit to elevate and redevelop some of our tourist sites and everything, which already is part of the Ghanaian story, the context that helps to bring people into the country, for instance, they went to the World Bank for the tourism development project credit facility that we went to for the $40 million and everything, which is helping to do all of these things and stuff like that. So if for me, sitting back and seeing that a lot of these things has not been done, for me, sitting back and realizing that creative and culture, which assets gains in tourism, which provide the content that holds, tourism and continue to bring people into the country, for instance, have not seen that much investment. For me to actually even realize that almost about $300 million is going to be, that ordinarily would have created an opportunity for people working within the creative economy, because of course designers and architects are all working in the creative community. If such an amount of money could be willed to just a single person, denying people the opportunity, people that have been investing in the market over time, the opportunity to have to raise that kind of money to expand in the country and continue to pay the statutory payment they do, it was problematic for me. And that was where I began to point it out, like, look, I don't think tourism was part of it. Obviously, it was there, like Chief Mumin will say, it was a post-rationalization of it, because then now there were questions regarding if we're going to put in $400 million into anything that was going to enable tourism in the country. Obviously, you know where to start, because you probably could have started with the promises that you made that almost everybody understands that, well, these are some of the things that the industry or the industry needs. There are a number of things. Look, and I'm just all over the place in my thoughts regarding it.
Yes, because I noticed you left my question alone and answered your own question. Yeah. And where you're going, we will get there eventually. But I just wanted us to take it from a particular perspective. There is a mosque that can take up to 4 million people. It has a 4 million capacity. I think it's in Mecca. I'm trying to remember. I think I wrote it somewhere. The Masjid Al-Haram. Yes, it's about 4 million people, right? Also,
4 million.
Yes, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, about 4 million.
4 million.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, exactly. I like that reaction.
But this
hold on. Let me learn. Now, that is why I asked you from the perspective of a tourist. You see, Uncle Ken's reaction. He just said, "Geez, 4 million people." You understand? That is why, for all the reasons, and if you read history, they will tell you that Ghanaians were not even happy when Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was putting up the Tema motorway. A lot of people fought him, and we need this, and we need, and we need this, and we need this. Why are you putting up a motorway? But years down the line, today we need an even bigger motorway and all that. You understand? So there would always be something else that needs to be done everywhere. I'm sure when they were putting up this 4 million capacity mosque, people naturally would complain.
No, George, I think that the mosque is a bit because it's Mecca and the pilgrimage.
Okay, maybe for
it
them
wasn't
that
for
would
attraction. It was for functionality.
But let me learn. But the reaction Uncle Ken made.
Yeah.
That is why I asked that if you are a tourist sitting somewhere and you want somewhere to visit and they've told you about Ghana and you Googled Ghana and you saw a national cathedral with everything else that they say it comes with, could it trigger some excitement?
George, that's what I tried to do in my analysis.
Yes.
Let me answer to that.
Yeah.
When Chief indicated to you how people do not necessarily just visit these things without context and the story. What will be the unique story that would pull or compel people to come? That's because after you've built the museum, don't forget you'd have to be engaged in other marketing or creating a certain narrative around it that will compel people to come. The Mecca example, for instance, is different. When you go into Mecca, for instance, there's a place where they call the Zamzam, and people actually even go to fetch the Zamzam because there's a certain belief in the miracle inherent in the water. Also because there's a story behind it. So often people are compelled by the story. What was what we used to pull a lot of people to Ghana? Our slave heritage and our story, the story that's connected to it, the fact that we have over 65 slave sites in this. So in this particular case, beyond the design of the building, what will be that unique story that is connected to us that you can't
pull
find
factor? That's what you're talking about.
Of the context.
Yes, there's no. What is the context? Look, Bryce Simmons gave a certain, when he was analyzing or trying to find out the relationship between what we're looking to build with the Bible or the Museum Bible, for instance,
Bible Museum,
for instance, who apparently are going to help to curate our Bible Museum here. And he cited some of the problems and issues that they had. Some of the things that turned out to be fake, some of the stuff that they put out there were not things. It created a whole lot of conversations which impacted them. So in our case, for instance, what is that unique connection in the evolution of Christianity here that will compel people to come here that it's not probably...
That is not probably...
When you look at it generally, even some of the men of God here are already attracting people because there's a certain story and a certain amplification around the miracle powers that they have. I mean, some of the churches, Obi Nim is getting numbers over the year. If you put it together to try to check out about, measure the numbers he makes every week for some of his services, for instance, you probably get the numbers.
Obinim, that's the one who can charm passports, right? Sorry, not charm, who can make passports appear from the embassy.
Obinim, look at any of the churches.
Let me. That one is, by the way.
For instance, let me just land. Look, I know why the Central Church, for instance, may have found a reason to create a new center that apparently takes more than 15,000 people behind the trade fair. Also because they're experiencing these numbers on the daily. And some of the numbers are coming in the West African sub-region. But why are they coming? There's a story. And sometimes the story sits with the particular man of God that is actually even driving it. Some of them are coming because of Otabil, Pastor Otabil. Some of them are also coming to some of the churches because Dagwood Mills is there. Some of the issues. See, look, there's a young guy that's doing amazing work, Irok. He runs one of the youth churches for Christ Embassy, the UPSA branch. You should see the numbers of young people that are there. There's a certain story, there's a certain context that pulls in the people, not necessarily the building. When he even started at one of the hotels, for instance, they were coming. It didn't matter where when he went to Fantasy Dome, they failed it.
Sadiq, I like where you're going. So doesn't all these lead to a certain narrative that a national cathedral would be a good asset for Ghana? There is so much in religion, and as you're saying, these religious people are pulling so many numbers. Look, Uncle Ken, you are from Ikropong. Have you seen Dakiwad Mills' place up there?
Yes.
It is a world on its own.
Camp.
It is a world. So Christian religion is a big thing here.
Judge,
right?
I mean, you have majority of your citizens are Christians.
If it is a big thing here, and churches keep springing up every day, and they still keep getting numbers,
Judge,
is a national cathedral not a good thing then?
Judge, where we have all differed is the level of state involvement and investment in it. Right. That's where we differed.
Okay.
We have made the point, and that's where, in fact, even for them, when you ask them, for instance, to rationalize the investment, then they pushed it to tourism. Then people in the sector began to point out to things that if tourism really mattered to you, and you were not just looking for a certain weak leg to run on or stand on, there were a number of things you would have done to enable tourism in this particular town. Look, the president actually even said that tourism now, even without that overarching transformative agenda to enable it, is your third biggest contributor to the GDP.
You keep mentioning
that. I mean, he stated that.
He stated it at the launch of the museum.
You know,
that
this is even without that overarching and full support or investment, and it's driven heavily by, even with all the problems. So she tell you that what he challenged the tourism ministry to do, for instance, which is by 2024, deliver 2 million visitors.
2 million
to the country.
visitors.
You could see that with just as little support from the state in actively enabling the sector, we could just hit it. But if you actually even look at even their main objective, what was the plan?
What are they coming to see?
I mean, they said that they were looking to target 10% of the 600 million Christian population in Africa, which would have amounted to what? 60 million.
Oh, you mean with the cathedral?
With the cathedral, which I wanted. And it's not realistic. It looks like it's not been well thought.
Okay, and there's an example that,
hold on. Before we deviate from our subject matter, all the problems like the transparency, Uncle Ken gave us the perspective where the issues are, the transparency, the state involvement, everything. I mean, other shows have gone deep into that. The news files, they've gone, we know them. I want us to pick it from an asset for national heritage, pride, culture, and tourism. Does this cathedral have the potential to deliver these? Can it deliver these? And Uncle Ken, what made you say wow when I mentioned the 4 billion?
4 million is huge.
It's huge, George.
Is it something you'd love to visit?
Of course.
Does it have any your desire to want to visit?
Would you
has it got any religious connection?
I am not a Muslim.
Okay.
Yes.
But I went to see the National Mosque.
But understandably, you need to provide a context and the narrative that draws this 4 million.
It's not even
also because
no. Hold on. That is why. No, hold on. That is why I used Uncle Ken, because Uncle Ken has not considered any history.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's the same reason for the National Mosque. He's not looking at any history. He's not looking at the history. He wants to see that big building. And I believe there are millions of people out there that are thinking like Uncle Ken. They're not interested in the story behind it.
George,
they're just interested in the fact that there's a structure somewhere.
George, let me ask you a question. As somebody working in the sector throughout the year, there's a particular month, for instance, that automatically delivers more numbers to
December.
December. Also because of the activities of private players and everything.
Exactly.
If there's anything you would do to enable and drive in numbers into the country in tourism, would you rather, when you sit with the people, would you rather the cathedral or actively enabling the sector?
That is what we are going to look at when we come back. We're going to take a spot of music so that you can also be a part of this conversation. We are discussing the national, we are discussing the National Cathedral right here on Joy 99.7 FM, and our WhatsApp line is 055 1111 997. Stay on.
Sadiq, as usual.
Joy 99.7. Joy 99.7. Joy 99.7.
And in the studios, I've got Uncle Kennedy, I've got Chief Moomin, I've got Sadiq Abdullah Abu, and we're talking the National Cathedral, another white elephant in the making, or an asset for national heritage, pride, culture, and tourism. Now, there's 100 more reasons to buy your airtime with MTN Momo. You're probably asking why. I'll tell you. It's really that simple. Momo is giving you back 100% bonus whenever you buy airtime from your wallet. Yep. And that's 2 times the airtime you need. You can schedule your airtime purchase for any amount daily, weekly, or monthly by just dialing *170# option 3 and follow the process, or by simply dialing *170 *311# for a superb airtime experience. Whether you are scheduling tomorrow's airtime today or buying airtime when you need it on *170# or *170 *311#, you get 100% bonus airtime, so you can make twice as many calls and catch up with gist only on MTN Momo. And we're still in church. And the Pentecost Hour is a religious broadcast program sponsored by the Church of Pentecost. Comes your way with the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyameche, on Joy 99.7 FM, 9:30 p.m. every Monday. So tune in this and every Monday at 9:30. As Apostle Nyameche brings you life-transforming truth that nourishes the soul, ignites passion, and restores hope in the nations. The Church of Pentecost, we're possessing the nations for the Lord. Joy 99.7.
99.7. Joy 99.7.
Or soybean plantations can be estimated cost of the can that estimated cost of the cathedral can do for us, okay? And let's evaluate benefits thereof. Zico inside Zico Kakraba sent that one in. Okay, I hope I got that message correctly. Instead of a national cathedral, this money should be used to develop our railway system. Joe from Adenta sent that one in. Good evening, Emmanuel Boateng. Is this program Showbiz A to Z available to be listened later on? Yes, it's going to be on Facebook or it's going to be on our podcast. You can always get back to it. Take your time and listen properly. GQ, tell the Ahmadiyya man in the studio. Okay, it says to say the National Chief Imam Eminence. Okay, well, I'll look at that later. That's from Alaji Isa. He says even the construction of the Jubilee House was contested at some point. It was described as a hen coop, but not today, I guess. Oh well. Like I said, as for everything, we would always contest it. George, don't try to change the narrative. Nobody is against the cathedral. In fact, those historical ones you see across the globe, they used many years in constructing them. And many of those who did at that time did it out of pride and patriotism without talking salaries. Today is not the same. Jonas from Lashby. Jonas, I'm trying to understand. Are you saying people should not get paid for their work? Or are you saying the same should be done today? People should come and build the cathedral for free? I want to understand you. Swan says, Masa, let's stop this cynicism. $400 million. Hey! There's a fort literally rotting away in Pram Pram. Why not spend that money to refurbish old but monumental edifices? Are we in the poor range of countries? God's own Ghana deserves better than NPP and NDC. Period. I am fed up. That's Shem Mixon Yeboah. Okay, that's Shem Mixon Yeboah right there. And this one, okay, George and Co. Firstly, we aren't financially sound currently for a cathedral to be built in such a rush. I'm a staunch Christian and will be proud to see a national cathedral. I've lived in the UK for over 30 years and worked in the city of London for years, right opposite St. Paul's Cathedral, and most summers have my lunch on the seats around it. Beautiful surroundings. From where I sit, our maintenance culture in this country will run the whole place down. We've seen it over and over. Lastly, Ghana is too expensive a country to expect the cathedral to bring in visitors. Thanks, that is Nana from the Spintex Road. This one says, China, India, Japan, etc. borrow Ghana a lot of money. You mean lend Ghana a lot of money? What do they worship? Government cry of not having enough revenue to fund developmental projects, but still causing financial loss to the state, funding shoddy works, procuring unreasonably, corruption. Constitution is amended to eradicate unreasonable spendings, misuse of state funds is stopped, and prosecution of... Okay, I'm trying to understand the message. But that's from Nana Kwesi, by the way. Swan says, good evening, George. I don't think anyone is against the idea of putting up a monumental structure like the National Cathedral. But there are issues. One, the times we find ourselves in, we are broke financially. Other sectors are bleeding. Transparency about the project. What we were told from the onset and what we're hearing. How we went about the project. Example, location, funding, and recruitment of engineers is too milky and questionable. Government must come again because estimated figures keep changing from one office to the other. Adam inside North K sent that one in. Okay, let us come back to the studios. Uncle Ken.
One more.
Yes, Uncle Ken, go ahead.
I just got a message.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, why do we shy away from simple truth? Nana Akufo-Addo said to all of us that this was a promise he made to God. Let it be personal to him. Why are we torturing ourselves about the National Cathedral with state involvement? There is no genuine National Cathedral anywhere in the world. Catholics will not worship as Presbyterians, nor vice versa. Let's be careful when the lobby for the National Fetish Shrine begins. Know where it started from. Very interesting one.
Very, very interesting one. Very, very. So, Uncle Ken, I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay. Let us assume you are in a position to make a decision, authority, say the president or the vice president, somewhere and you've heard everything that has been said. Even on this show today, you've heard Chief Mumen, you've heard Sadiq, you've heard a lot of Ghanaians speak. What would be your decision going forward with this cathedral, considering still let's situate it within the context of a national heritage, pride, culture, and tourism? What would be your decision?
Somebody sent you a text. You just read a text from one of the listeners.
Yeah.
Who said that it took several years
for other edifices to be put up.
Other edifices.
Yeah, and my very good friend Daniela Moating also asked same that. How many years did it take to build some of these other edifices? It didn't take 4 years for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So we find ourselves in perilous times at this juncture. So if we could suspend it till things got better, I don't think, as I have heard from a lot of people, I don't think nobody is against an edifice of that nature being put up. But the circumstances surrounding it is what has caused problems. I think it is legitimate to interrogate most of the issues surrounding this National Cathedral. It is important to interrogate the timing of the execution of the project, especially in these trying times, as I have said. It is legitimate for Parliament to demand accountability from the government on what has been spent so far on the project because of the varying figures that we've been made to believe are being spent on this thing. And my main issue is if public confidence and trust, and not just with this particular project, Chief, but with governance as a whole, is to be enhanced, then transparency and accountability remain very key ingredients. And those in charge of the various aspects of the cathedral project must be forthcoming with the relevant facts to put minds at rest. So me, if you push me, I think in these trying times and where we are, I don't know if the foundation has been laid, has been finished.
Investment has been made already, Younger Ken.
Yes, investment has been made.
Money has gone into
but we could put it on hold while still asking people to donate, because we still have donations going with the.
And what happens to the money that have gone to all these people already?
Yes, it has been paid, and it's not going to go waste. It can just be put on hold.
So, Uncle Ken, you would put it on hold?
Yes.
Okay.
I will put it on hold till the system gets better.
Would it?
Oh, sure. I mean,
I asked would it because the base.
The system will get better.
Look, in economic theories, they will tell you
the
that
war will end soon.
they will tell you that needs are endless, resources are few. It's a basic economic
George, we
theory.
know that.
So there would always be something
But if the
more
$400 million being bandied about is the true figure for this, then it should be put on hold. Because that's too huge.
When?
It's problematic.
It's problematic.
Till when?
Till things get better.
Okay. That's Uncle Ken's thoughts. Now, I wonder...
Or it can be converted to what you're talking about.
I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you, Chief, before I come to Sadiq. Now, I'm trying to understand the concept of the duration. Look, are we not in modern times where technology is helping make some of these things faster? How does, if it took 100 years to build one pyramid, because at the time there was nothing, there were no tractors, there were no quick ways to cut blocks and everything had to be done, you had to wait for it to dry. These days there are quicker ways, technology. How does the time become relevant?
Oh, I don't think that the time. I mean, obviously, it didn't take 100 years to build the pyramids, maybe 20 or so.
Well.
Yes, but I get you. I guess the duration is really not a matter of necessarily the building technology, as in the commitment that is needed, and the funding that is needed, because these are, huge. The amount of money we are hoping to invest in the National Cathedral is more than we allocate to our ministry, some of our ministry, major ministry. I don't know, the education ministry is like, well, I don't know, $200 or something million. So it is a major. 200 million cedis? Oh wow!
I don't know.
No, it is.
We don't
look. Government is currently in the market. Government is currently in the market to raise about $1 billion in syndicated loans. Government needs about $3 billion to subsidize, to manage the economy. Government cannot borrow from the Eurobond market because Eurobond has been closed. So we've seen the worst case of inflation, in decades. Fuel prices are 12, 13 cities, probably going to go to 16 cities. Who knows? So if these are precarious times, undoubtedly, and people are complaining. So even the optics of it is bad. And I practically don't see how governments can find the money between now and next year, because from all indications the Eurobond market may still be close to the government, and government needs to raise a lot of money to manage its budgets and run the economy, unless they just want to close the eyes and say, look, if we raise $1 billion from the from loans or whatever, we have to. Government may have to go to IMF at the end of the day. Who knows? If they go to IMF, they cannot use IMF money to do. So I'm actually wondering how government can do this. I agree that this is not something you can do in 3-4 years. It's something like this, probably, a decade. I do not see a different. In fact, let me say, if the president leaves office, I don't even see an MPP president being as fixated about this. Definitely not an NDC president, right? So the best bet to guarantee this cathedral is to ensure that they get all the money before they leave, and they actually pay the contractors and pay everybody. So and tie it in such legal, agreement that any government who comes and tries to abrogate the contract would have to pay a huge judgment debt, and it wouldn't make sense.
Leave it to the Christian fraternity.
Yeah, no. So that's the point I'm actually coming to.
Period.
Yes. So my suggestion.
It's a 10-year period.
My suggestion is actually that the presidency must.
Exactly.
I think that as Uncle Ken is saying, needs to go back to the table.
Okay.
No, let me finish.
Yes.
One indication that. If this would have been, okay, so how much have we raised? I haven't communicated that. How much have we raised from the donations so far? That should even tell you that if this cathedral is built, are we even going to raise that much money that we hope in terms of revenue? But I think that they have to leave it to the Christian community. The government has to take a backseat role, call the clergy and say, look, we've already done this, it didn't go well, and we want you to run with this. If 4 million Ghanaian Christians decide to donate $100 each, they'll get that $400 million that they need. But I think the best way forward now, unless government just wants to close its eyes and whatever little monies that the president has in the government kitty, damn the consequences, I'm building this because that's what God wants me to do. Other than that, I think that the government needs consensus. At this point, they need consensus, especially because the optics are not right. The economy is in dire straits, so the optics are not right. Maybe the board of trustees must be given more say. The government must come back and say, I want to take a back seat. I've already spent a lot of money, but I can't do this. Can you run with this? And it doesn't matter how long it takes. You just run away. Maybe that may maybe be a place to go. But as I said, our political leaders have shown that if they are willing to invest in something, they are going to do it. And for me, this is a challenge that, as Kadik was saying, we have to run with. Now some of us are going to begin to advocate for a $1 billion allocation to the tourism industry. We want to see a $1 billion project in transforming Ghana's tourism industry.
Okay.
And we are going to ask for it.
This is why.
Yes. No. Before you come, Sadiq, have any of us heard about the African Renaissance Monument? The African Renaissance Monument.
Yes. Prof. Yes.
You know the history behind that monument. You know how it was vehemently protested.
Which one? The Winneba one?
No, not Winneba. The African Renaissance Monument. It's
you mean in Senegal?
Yes, Senegal.
Yes, in Senegal.
You know, the protest against
sorry.
You know, it was what is happening with National Cathedral was small. Yes. But after it was put up, everybody appreciated its benefits.
No, how much was invested in it?
I think it was the African Renaissance Monument at the time. I think it was about a little under $30 million or so.
George, what's the benefit? Don't take the fact that maybe the buzz of the agitations has gone down to mean
the benefit.
Everybody appreciated.
It's more
what
important.
Are the benefits that everybody appreciates?
No, the thing is that when you build it, we would go. That
what
one
is
there.
the extra benefit is doing to the is bringing to the country and all of those things? Because Charlie,
no.
Let me give an example.
We're running out of time.
If there's hunger in your home and you are dying and you have small money, say I want to go and buy Mercedes Benz, and you complain and you go and buy the Benz, still you are going to drive the Benz and appreciate it, whether you have so I get what you mean by look, people will complain, but when you build it, they'll love it.
Hold on, Sadiq, hold on. When you want to make such examples, don't use Benz. I'll buy stuff and
if you use the Benz, George will buy.
I'll die in the car.
I will buy it and drink from God.
You know, I saw a recent video. I just have to talk about this. I saw a recent video from Africa's greatest freedom fighter, and he said that he doesn't like dreams. You know, because when he has a dream, and it just haunts him, so he goes out and he buys it so that he doesn't have that dream again. Who do you think made this statement? Africa's greatest freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter.
Yeah.
Freedom
Jacob Caesar. He said I don't like dreams. When I get dreams, it just worries me, so I just go out and I buy it, so I don't have to dream again.
The tiger man. Sadiq, let's hear you, so we can. We want to open the phone lines to hear the thoughts of listeners as well.
If the state has any more resources to put into this, like we all have said, it should rather go into building proper structures for the tourism industry.
Make the point about the convention center.
Yes, some of those things does not actually even need money. The Hotels Association of Ghana, for instance, had been pressing government for a certain premium tax, which they believe would help them reduce the cost of the operations which they pass on to consumers, thereby creating that expense that makes it hard for tourists to come to the country. You know, I'm sure the Ghana Tourism Authority, for instance, could make do with some extra money to help them in the partnerships that they do with all these people that provide the content and help the activities that set the tourist visitations that come into the country. I'm sure the Ministry of Tourism and Culture could do with some extra budgets to enable their programming, for instance, that would help them unlock that 2 billion visitors the president had challenged them to do and all of those things, you know. And if seeing that, I mean, the fund that would go into revamping our heritage sites, about 65 heritage sites, for instance, it's less than that amount of money that is going to the architect that is going to for the work that he's doing on the National Cathedral, for instance, which is 40 million from the World Bank. You would realize that it would take very far less than this probably a quarter of this $40 million to have to enable $400 million to have to enable the tourism industry in the ways that it can continue to drive and, you know, unlock value for the country, you know. But like as everybody has said, also because of the sentiment attached, one of the things you need to understand is that there are a lot of fundamental Christians in this country. Sometimes they do not talk, but they are there, and there are lots. Some of them have a certain sentimental attachment to the project. So calling it off entirely when investment has gone into it, for instance, may probably even create problems for any future government that will come.
It sure will.
You know, and so, I mean, if the call is that hand it over to the Christian community, there's already a trustees, and say, run with it. We've made an investment so far. Already this investment is causing a lot of problems for us. And then no matter how many years it will take, no matter when you know, because the National Mosque, for instance, took more than 25 years to build. From when the land was given, more than 25 years. So the Christian community on their own, because look, they have the power. They could do it if they want to. You've seen the
$100, 4 million people.
We've seen the edifices and structures they are building, 15,000, 10,000. There are lots. You're seeing the one that is being built at what's it called, the Obechevilamte Circle, Royal House. I mean, obviously
they call it the oil dome.
The oil dome. You see how it's taking them a longer years. The land has been there from the beginning of the church. And if the church has been present in Ghana for more than 25 years, I should tell you that it's been a long dream that Pastor Kwanchanka has been, has had and has put in, the work on it. So if we're going to hand it over to the Christians, all well and good. But if you're also foreseeing that there won't be any problem, maybe like Anglican has indicated earlier, turn it into a national convention that will provide value for a lot of the sectors in the what's it called in the sector.
Okay.
If you turn it into a national, obviously we could do our events. It could be used for church activities. It could be used for the funeral that you speak about. You could actually even have a museum there. If the money that is going to help you create the museum at the place is going to be too expensive, all these sites that are already present in the country that are going to be revamped, maybe you should put in more so they can have their own museums that will compel a lot of people to come. Because mind you, if you do not do that and then all the attention shifts and come in here, you are actually impacting, because the Cape Coast economy, for instance, thrives on tourism. So the more people you take to Cape Coast, because now there's a new museum which assets and amplifies your heritage, your slave heritage enough, it will compel a lot of people to go there, thereby impacting the local economy. So I think that if really this particular government is particular about tourism and wants to enable it, they know how to start, they know what to go. There are a lot of ideas on what to do regarding it. And we want to see that same level of commitment and strong role by president in having to enable the tourism sector.
Solid point there.
Joy 99.7.
Lines open 0302216541. Let me hear you. I have my personal thoughts on everything. Mine is more of an appeal. And much as yes, 0302216541. Let's see who we got here. Okay, hello. Okay, not yet. Okay, let's go now. Hello.
Yeah, hello, George. Good
yes,
evening.
Sir, good evening. Great. We're good.
This is Ajiman Joseph from tonight, sir.
Talk to us, Ajiman Joseph.
I want you to stop giving the cathedral name, otherwise you'll be taken as an scapegoat.
Sorry?
You have been giving its name. Don't let them take you as an scapegoat.
What name have I been giving it?
You say a white elephant, right?
No. It's just a topic. You know what a white elephant is? A white elephant is a structure that is not used for what it's intended to be used, and eventually it's just there. It is not in a bad. It's not negative. It's in English. It's not negative.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right.
I think the biggest problem I have with the authorities handling this cathedral is the accountability, and they have to let it be plain for us to understand. You see, initially, we were told the churches are going to build their own tent, so we should keep quiet not to talk about it. Now they have gotten to a point that our taxpayers' money is going into it. Fine. You didn't even tell us before turning our tax money into it. But why can't you tell us that?
Ajiman, I get you, but today we're trying to focus on the tourism aspect of it. You get me? As for all that conversation, the politicians have done a lot of that one already, so we're trying to stay away from that one. Yeah? Okay, but thank you. Let's see who else we have here. Hello?
Hello, George. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling me from?
Mixon Yabua, heading towards my farm.
Mixon, talk to us.
George, are you practicing a democracy at all? Most Ghanaians spoke against E-Levy. It was passed. Most Ghanaians spoke against the new parliament. It was halted. So is it that we can just rally $400 million to build a cathedral, but then we can't rally $400 million to build farms, to build industry, to build places where we can get derived value? Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs first suggests man needs food. Food. If you are starving, you can't worship. You can't do anything. Why do we play? Tell you, go. George, go, man, and see a bump in form. I think.
Point well made. Thank you, my brother. What? I heard you. Thank you. Hello. Let's see who we have here. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, George.
Good evening, sir. Name and where you calling me from, please.
Jacob Jr. calling from Kaswa. Greetings to Uncle Ken.
Greetings to you too, Uncle Ken. Jacob wants to say hello. Uncle Ken, Jacob is saying hello to you.
Oh, hi, Jacob.
Yeah, Uncle. Long time. I have been enjoying your music.
Thank you.
In fact, you are still on track. And I love that.
Thank you. Keep listening.
All right, Jacob.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The point is, one, our constitution forbids what is going on. We don't need to. The president needs to be religiously aligned. When you started the show, somebody referred to the constitution on that. On that basis, the president must be impeached, initiated by the civil society and the minority group in parliament. We should follow the constitution and impeach the president.
I think you've also made your point. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have on the line? One last caller, so we can come back and wrap it up. Hello? Yes, good evening. Talk to us, Kwame.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, Mr. George, you know something? I want to appeal to the president that he should take the story of King David and his son, Solomon. You know, by the way, I'm one of those few, or I don't know how many we are. I've authorized my bankers. They take 100 cities every month from my money towards the building of the cathedral.
Congratulations.
So I would like him to take it that, look, maybe he has come out with this whole idea, but God is not, God in his wisdom, he said that no, you will do it for me. Another person will do it for me. So the president should relax. If it will take us 5 years, 10 years, 20 years for another person to inaugurate it, George, can you imagine when this thing is completed and President Nana Akufo-Addo is alive and he's not the one going to inaugurate it, but he has been invited to come. Can you imagine the crowd that he will get? Oh, George.
I think you made your point. Thank you. It's well noted. Thank you very much. And thank you all for being a part of our conversation. There are a few messages. Let me see if I can quickly take some of them before we go out. This one says, with all the projects that can be done in 4 years, is this what we are settling for? Okay, that's your point over there. Mixing Yeboah. The cathedral project should rather have been a project to build the sea defense wall along the coastline of Ghana and to proclaim land from the sea to be used for building strategic projects like Dubai is doing. Burj Khalifa, Palm Jumeirah, Blue Water Island, etc. Okay, points well noted. This one says, George, simple terms, the president is afraid of abandonment of the project. Jonas from Labshibi sent that one in. This one says, hi George, great show as always. I think though the National Cathedral will be useful, accountability and transparency is the issue. Even compensation has become a problem. Why? Okay, this one, that was from Ajman Joseph. This one says, the Love Herbalist GQ. It is insulting to see a government crying there is no money, yet you spend huge sums of money on a monument. Okay, which even, okay, all right. Papa C thinks it's a misplaced priority. Okay. We're coming back to the studios to close it. Gentlemen, I think we've made our points. Final thoughts. Uncle Ken, we're going.
Jiki, are you known as the Love Herbalist?
Yes, Uncle Ken. That's what some of them call me.
Hey, I didn't know.
Myself, I didn't know. We're out of time, Uncle Ken.
Ken is a ladies' man. You are the Love Herbalist.
Yeah.
So Ken now somebody should do a jingle for Ken and says, listening to Jazz and Joy with the ladies' man.
I swear, it'll be easy. But gentlemen, thank you very much.
It's been an interesting conversation.
Yes.
It has, and we just we hope for peace and solidarity, and we're looking forward to that $1 billion commitment to our industry. Yes. Next week I may not be here though. I'm on an international assignment. So.
You're going away.
You don't hear of me. I'm going to tour cathedrals.
Just bring us the money.
I actually go to a cathedral and take a picture. Maybe the Notre Dame.
George, let's just reiterate the fact that if this cathedral is built on private funds, nobody will have an issue.
Nobody would have any issue with it.
It's the state involvement that is causing the problem.
Anyway, I told you earlier on. Sadiq, hold on. I told you earlier on. Maybe let me have the final. I have an appeal. And I pray, this is an appeal. I'm pleading for government to listen. If there is any funding, look, let me start from the church point of view. There are some 4 churches in this country who can take this cathedral and build it in 1 year. We know them.
I was at one today.
There are some 4 churches in this country.
I was at one today.
From Action True Central.
We have seen what they have put up.
I was at one today, George.
Exactly.
George, I was
White
at one.
House.
I was at a funeral at 1 today, and I was mesmerized.
Okay, Uncle Ken, hold on. If the leadership of these churches love Ghana as we do, and they love the God that we serve, our president has started an initiative. This initiative is going to align with whatever it is they are doing, what they've been called to do. This initiative is going to align with our national heritage and cultural assets and everything. They should commit to it. They should sow a seed like they ask us to sow every time. Look, when we go to our Orthodox churches and all that, the Roman Catholics, they've built a lot of schools, hospitals, and stuff. So these ones to commit to this, save the Ghanaian. Look, I just don't want to mention the names of these churches, but they should rise to the occasion. They should rise. Tons of collection. This is the least you can do for Ghanaians.
What if they also don't agree with the direction of it and they've already
Which direction? It is a church. What direction would it be?
But they've invested in their own churches already.
So invest in something for the country, for once, and then for government. For government, my appeal. Hold on. For government. Yeah,
the churches there.
No, it's okay.
They are there.
Like I said, Sadiq, it's an appeal. It's an appeal. It is only an appeal. It is only an appeal. It is not force. It is just an appeal. You understand? And then to government, this would be my appeal. This would be my appeal to government before we go. Look, when you go to the National Theatre, the structure needs help. I just want to beg, if there is any funding that can be channeled into that direction, let us channel some there. I don't want to state the details. All I can say is that the structure needs help. The State House Banquet Hall doesn't exist anymore. The conference center has its own challenges. So event planners and people that need spaces only have one unit available to use. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock. We're out of here. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We cannot continue to talk. Thank you very much. We're out. The show was produced by Philip Nye with Anita Tay. And of course, we also had Crispy putting us on social media. My name is George. We're going to pick the news live from Kumasi. Okay.